This video will be still on 12.1. Form G, we're going to do numbers 7 and 9. They both are very similar, but they involve some factoring and or some foiling rather, and a little bit of algebra. So let's take a look. They are asking to simply find the value of x. Now, x in both these problems and both these x's in this picture are the radius of the circle. Okay, and they're asking us to find that value. So the first thing we need to do is we need to recognize that we do have a right triangle. Okay, so that's going to allow us to use the Pythagorean theorem, so we can solve for x that way. So, you know, let's ignore this part for the minute. So we're going to ignore the hypotenuse for a minute, and let's just write our equation for the two legs. So one of the legs is x, so x squared, plus the other leg is 9, so 9 squared is equal to, now, if we take a look at the hypotenuse from here to here is x. So it's x, and it's then from this dot to this dot is 6. So it's x plus 6 squared. Okay? So I'm going to actually go to a new page and rewrite this out here. So we had x squared plus 9 squared was equal to x plus 6 squared. Okay? The left-hand side's easy. X squared plus 81 is equal to, now, you could FOIL this, you could box it. I think in some of the videos I had done the box method. So I'll FOIL this one to show you, and then I'll do the box method for the for number 9. First, we'll give you x squared. Outer would give you 6x. Inner would be, again, 6x, and then last would be 36. So x times x is x squared, 6 times x is 6x, 6 times x is 6x, and then 6 times 6 gives you 36. Combine your like terms. 6x and 6x give you 12x plus 36. So that's how you FOIL the when you have to square the hypotenuse. All right, so we get, let me erase some of this so I have more room. So we have x squared plus 81 is equal to x squared plus 12x plus 36. Now, in this moment, it looks absolutely horrific. It looks a lot like those problems we did back in chapters 6 and 7, where you had to factor and then do all this stuff. If you take a look at it, the first thing you got to do, I always told you to get your x squareds on one side. Well, regardless of if you move this x squared over here, or if you move this x squared over here, you're going to have to subtract x squared from both sides. When you do that, they cancel out. So immediately this gets a lot less intimidating, because your x squareds are gone. So now the x squareds are gone. That tells you no longer have to factor. You just need to solve for x. Okay, so if you minus your 36 from both sides, all right, that gives you 12x so 81 minus 36 gives you 45. Okay? And when you divide both sides by 12, you get x to be 3.75. Okay, so there's your answer for number 7. Let's go back to number 9. Was the second question we had, so it's the same exact setup. Okay, again, I'm going to ignore the hypotenuse for a minute. That should be a right angle. That should be there to tell you that that line is tangent. Nevertheless, you have your leg, x squared, plus your other leg is 20 squared. And then now when I pay attention to my hypotenuse, it is from here to here is x, and from here to here is 12. So I'm going to go back to my other page. So when we have this, we had x squared plus 20 squared is equal to x plus 12 squared. All right, left-hand side, x squared plus 20 squared is 400. Now, if I were to box this, you have x and 12, x and 12. X times x gives you x squared. X times 12 gives you 12x. X times 12 gives you 12x. 12 times 12 gives you 144. Okay? When I combine my like terms, remember the diagonals will be your like terms, so the x squared does not change. This becomes a plus 24x plus 144. So that is if you decide to box this and not FOIL it. Regardless, you'll get the same answer. Now again, you need to go ahead and solve this, and you need to get x squared to one side, which requires you to minus x squared from both sides. They cancel out again. So immediately you have a less intimidating problem. Okay, so you have 400 is equal to 12x plus 144. So we're going to minus our 144 from both sides. So I get 256 is equal to 24x. And then if we just go ahead and divide that number both sides by 24 to get x by itself, you get 10.6 repeating. I think the directions asked you around the nearest tenth. So the answer will say 10.7 because the repeating 6 would tell you to round that number up to 7. Okay? Any other questions, shoot me an email. Have a great afternoon.